Mom lowering that mic so your face can be seen. Oh, you too up. Yeah, you too up. Make sure you come.
Ahmad. Gana, present thyself and thy registry.
Gana Ya'ala Ban Yahawara Ban Yashal.
Gana Ya'ala Ban Yahawara Ban Yashal. There you go.
Yahaba Shimya Sabra Ban.
Yahaba Shimya Sabra.
La Ya'ala.
La Yashala.
Ya'ala Shala.
La Yashala.
La Yashala.
Right? This is for everybody. Aimadium, which means to stand. Wapanya, Hakwadam, which means rise and face the east. We're going to read the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. I'm going to let you go ahead and read. And then the English, the Lord's Prayer.
Abanaw. Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim. Quadash. Hayah. Shamka. Yahweh. Malak Wafka. Taba'ah. Retizayaka. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'arakazah. Kawa. Hayah. Bashamayim.
Nathan
Lanau. Lakam. Call. Yawam. Wasalak now.
Kabawat Nawa.
Kabawat now.
Kasalak Nawa. Kabalak Yanawa.
Kabawat now.
Wala W now. When the Sayawam. A ball. How was shy now? Mayan. Ra'a. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Waha Allah. Waha Tapa Ara. La'awamim. Aman. And then the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors.
forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
Lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us
but deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
Thine is the kingdom,
Thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
This is Hakak, the power, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
by Hashem Yahushua,
by Hashem Yahushua,
Baba Bashar,
by Bashar,
the thunder now,
the thunder now,
Hakak,
Hakat,
Hakak,
Hakat,
Lord Pa'ab,
Lord Fa'ab,
Kamaka Allah,
Kamaka,
will call Manawa,
Okul Manawa,
Hakak,
Hakat,
that's a heart,
that's a heart,
Hamatazariah,
Namatazariah,
Hakak,
Hakat,
Lahatium,
Lahati,
Hamathium,
Hamati,
Hakak,
Hakat,
Arakawa,
Arakawa,
that's Ma'ala,
that's Ma'ala,
look at Rashan,
look at Rashan,
by Hashem Yahushua,
by Hashem Yahushua,
the water among.
the water of mine. And in the English, Yahweh,
Yahweh.
in the name of Yahushua,
In the name of Yahushua,
please give us the power,
please give us the power,
the power to heal,
the power to heal
all manner of sickness,
all manner of sickness,
and all manner of disease,
and all manner of disease,
the power to cleanse the leper,
power to cleanse the leper,
the power to raise the dead,
power to raise the dead,
power against unclean spirits,
power against unclean spirits,
to cast them out,
to cast them out.
in the name of Yahushua,
In the name of Yahushua,
thank you so be.
thank you so big. Slack, make sure y'all stay hydrated because it's like really hot in here. There's some waters also over there. All right. Here's this is the blessed Israel in the Hebrew, Yahweh.
Yahweh,
By Hashem Yahushua,
by Hashem Yahushua,
Barak Lanau,
Barak Lanau,
by Yasha'Allah,
by Yesha'Allah,
Wahabayah,
Wahabayah,
Sapari,
Sapari,
Barak,
Barak,
Rapah,
Rabah,
Magun,
Magun,
Hagun,
Magun,
by Hashem
by
Yahushua,
Hashem Yahushua,
Wadamah,
the water of mine. And in the English, Yahweh,
Yahweh.
in the name of Yahushua,
In the name of Yahushua,
bless us,
bless us,
and Israel,
and Israel,
and the school,
and the school.
bless,
Bless,
heal,
heal,
shield,
shield,
protect,
protect.
In the name of Yahushua,
In the name of Yahushua,
thank you so be.
thank you so big. These are the blessings in Hebrew. Barakatha Yahweh.
Barakatha Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shah.
Wa Yahushua,
Wa Mayaka Allah.
wa Malakinahu,
Wa Allahayim.
wa Alahayim,
Matazab Ya'ab.
Matazab Ya'ah,
Alawak Yahana.
Alawak Yahana,
Ha Alawakim.
Ha Alawakim,
Ha Saranyim.
Ha Saranyim,
Hakwatazayanyim.
Ha Tazaryim,
Hakayayoyim.
Ha Kayayoyim,
Wa Ha'akwakim.
wa Ha'akwim,
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Wa Hashem Yahushua.
by Hashem Yahushua,
Wadamah.
the water of mine. And in the English, bless you, Yahweh,
Bless you, Yahweh.
and Yahushua,
And Yahushua.
and Michael,
And Michael.
and the Slotty, and the angels,
And the angels.
commanding General Yohanan,
Commanding General Yohanan.
the general,
The general.
the captain,
The captain.
the officer,
The officer.
the troop,
The troops.
and the sister,
And the sister.
Yahweh,
Yahweh.
in the name of Yahushua,
In the name of Yahushua,
thank you so be.
thank you so big. This is Psalms 121. Aisha,
Aisha,
Ayanya,
Ayanya,
Ahahariam,
Ahahariam,
Ba'ayan,
Ba'ayan,
Yaba'a,
Yaba'ah,
Isariam,
Azariam,
Isariam,
Azariam,
Ma'ain,
Ma'ayin,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Shamayam,
Shamayam,
Wa'aratiza,
Wa'aratiza,
Ayatan,
Ayatan,
Lamawat,
Lamawat,
Ragalka,
Ragal,
Ayanwam,
Ayanawam,
Shamarka,
Shamar,
Ana,
Ana,
La'a,
La'ah,
Yanawam,
Yanawam,
Wala'a,
Wala'ah,
Yashan,
Yashan,
Shabamar,
Shabamar,
Yasha'ala,
Yasha'ala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamar,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazalka,
Tazal,
Al-Yad,
Ayat,
Yamnika,
Yamika,
Yabamam,
Yamamam,
Hashamash,
Hashamash,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Yakaka,
La'aka,
Wayarak,
Wayarak,
Balayila,
Walayila,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Shamar,
Makorra,
Korah,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Atnapashka,
Atapash,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Taza'afka,
Taza'aka,
Wabawa'aka,
Wabuwa'aka,
Mayata,
Mayata,
Wa'ai,
Wa'ai,
Awalam,
Awalam,
Aman.
Aman. And in the English, I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hill.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help coming from Yahweh,
Which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth,
and even forevermore.
even forevermore.
So be it.
So be it. This is Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al-Damayalaka.
Al-Damayalaka.
Al-Fakarash.
Al-Dakarash.
Ra'al-Tashakwat.
Al-Dakarash.
Al.
Al.
Kayahana.
Kayahana.
Awayab Yaka.
Awayab Yaka.
Yahama Yawan.
Yahama Yawan.
Woman Shana Yaka.
Muyasanaya.
That's Awa.
Nashawa.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al Imaka.
Al Ainu.
Ya'ira Yamwa.
Yaira Yum Yum.
Sawad.
Sawad.
Wayatha Ya'a Tazawab.
Wiyataya Ai Tazawab.
Altazap one Yaka.
Al Yatazawab Yaka.
Amarwa.
Amara.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakina.
Wakakia.
Magolia.
Magolia.
Wala'a.
Wala'a.
Yasakar.
Yisakar.
Sham Yasha'al.
Sham Yasha'al.
Iwa.
Iwa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Now what I Tazawab.
Ai Tazawab.
Lab.
Lab.
Yakadwa.
Yakadwa.
Al Yakad.
Ayakad.
Waryath.
Waryath.
Yakarapwa.
Yakarapwa.
Aholia.
Ahoy.
Alawam.
Alawam.
Wishamai Aliyam.
Wishemai Alawam.
Wama Abba.
Wa'al.
Wahagarian.
Wahagarian.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wa'anawan.
Wa'anawan.
Wa'analak.
Wa'analak.
Halashat.
Halashat.
And Yeshabyam.
Yishabim.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Iman.
Iman.
Hayawa.
Ayawa.
Zarawai.
Ayawa.
Labunya Lawa.
Labani Yawa.
Salah.
Salah.
Aisha Laham.
Aishalaham.
Kamadyan.
Kamani.
Kasiyasa Ra'ab.
Yasarah.
Kayabyam.
Kuyabim.
Benakal.
Benakal.
Koyashwan.
Kuyashwan.
Nishamatwa.
Neshamat.
Ayan Ara.
Bayanda Arah.
Hayawa.
Ayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
La Adama.
Adam.
Shayatamla.
Adam.
Nadayabawa.
Yawa.
Ka'irab.
Kairab.
Because of Abba.
Because of Abu.
Because of Bat.
Because of Bak.
Because of Zalmanad.
Zona.
Kolesaya Kamwa.
Koyasaya Kamwa.
Anshar.
Ashar.
Amarwa.
Amara.
Nayarashah.
Nurishah.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Af.
Ad.
Na'awaf.
Nawat.
Alahayim.
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 Shayatamwa.
Sayatamwa.
Kagogla.
Kagogla.
Kakwash.
Shukwash.
Lapanya Rakab.
Lapanya Rakab.
Ka'ash.
Ta'ash.
Ira Yaira.
Iri Ira.
Kwagalahaba.
Kulahawa.
Kulahat.
Kulahat.
Harim.
Ariam.
Khan.
Khan.
The Radatma.
Radapna.
But Sa'irika.
Was Ira.
What was Sapathka.
What was about?
The Balalam.
Yum.
Mala'ab.
Mala'ah.
Panyaham.
Wayaham.
Kwalawan.
Kulawam.
Wayabakwashwa.
Wabashwa.
Shankar.
Shikwa.
Yahawa.
Yahawah.
Yabashwa.
Wabashwa.
Wayabahowa.
Wayabahowa.
Ayai.
Ayai.
Wayakaparwa.
Wayar.
Wayabagwa.
Wayabagwa.
Wayadaiwa.
Wayaiwa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Afa.
Adak.
Shankar.
Shukwa.
Yahawa.
Yahawah.
Labaka.
Labaka.
Ayawan.
Ayawan.
Alkal.
Alkal.
Haratazah. Aman.
Aman.
And in the English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
For lo,
thy enemies make a tumult.
thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee,
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden
And
ones.
have consulted against thy
They
hidden.
have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
and let us cut them off from being a nation.
let us cut them off from being a nation.
That the name of
In
Israel
the name of Israel,
may be no more remembered.
may be no more remembered.
For they have consulted together
They have consulted together
with one consent.
with one
They
consent.
are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against
The tabernacles of Edom
the tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab
and Moab
and the Hagarenes
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal
Gabal,
and Ammon
and Ammon,
and Amalek
and Amalek,
the Philistines
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Asher has also joined with them.
Asher is also joined with
They
them.
have opened the children of Lot.
They have opened the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites,
As to Sisera.
as to Sisera,
As to Jabin.
as to Jabin,
At the book of
the
Kasar.
book of Gasam,
Which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They become as dung for the earth.
They become as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a ram.
Make their nobles like a
And
rat,
like Zeeb.
like Zeb.
Yea,
Yea.
all the princes of Zabah.
All the princes of Sabbath
And as Zalmunna,
and Zamuna,
who said,
who said,
let us take to
let
ourselves
us take to ourselves
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
the houses of your house in possession.
Oh my power.
Oh, my power.
Make them like a wheel.
Make them like a wheel,
As the stumble before the wind.
as the stubble before the wind,
As the fire burneth a wood.
as the fire burns the
And
wood,
as the flame setteth the mountain on fire.
and as the flame set the mountain on
So
fire.
persecute them
So persecute
with
them
thine tempest.
with thy temper
And make them afraid
and make them afraid
with thine storm.
with thy storm.
Clear their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with
That
shame,
they may seek the name.
that they may seek the name.
Oh Yahweh.
Oh, Yahweh,
Let them be confounded.
let them be
And
confounded,
troubled forever.
the trouble forever.
Yea.
Yea,
Let them be put to shame.
let them be put to shame
And perish.
and perish,
That men may know.
that men may know
Thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
So be it.
So be it.
And these are the curses Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth.
King of heaven and earth,
And all things living.
and all things living.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right now.
Right now.
Send evils and curses.
The evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
Punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
That speak against us.
That speak against us.
Salah. And thy prophets.
Thy prophets.
The teachers.
The teachers.
The princes.
The princes.
The priests.
The priests.
The Israelite brothers.
The Israelite brothers.
And the school.
And the school.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and destruction.
To the heathen.
To the heathen.
And shake loose the treasures.
Shake loose the
Of
treasure.
the rich of
Of
Israel.
the rich of Israel.
That refuse to give to the school.
That refuse to give to the school.
Force their riches.
Force their riches.
To enter into thine sanctuary.
Enter to thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses.
Send evils and curses.
And punishment and destruction.
And punishment and
To
destruction.
the Edomites.
To the Edomite.
And the nation.
And the nation.
And that drug dealer.
And the drug dealer.
The court system.
The court system.
The prison system.
Prison system.
Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood.
All the governments of our enemies.
All the governments of our enemies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Amalek synagogues and armies.
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic Church.
Pope.
Pope.
Islam.
Islam.
Christianity.
Christianity.
Egyptology.
Egyptology.
Militia.
Militia.
Ku Klux Klan.
Ku Klux Klan.
Aryan Nation.
Aryan Nation.
Skinhead.
Skinhead.
Pasi Kamatata.
Pasi Kamatata.
Gay movement.
Gay movement.
Gay movement.
Gay movement.
Lesbian movement.
Lesbian movement.
Lesbian movement.
Lesbian movement.
Spies.
Spies.
Workers of witchcraft.
Workers of witchcraft.
That's the space program.
That's the space program.
Army.
Army.
Navy.
Navy.
Air Force.
Air Force.
Marine.
Marine.
Wall Street.
Wall Street.
Open up the internet.
Open up the internet.
And the airwaves.
And the airwaves.
Cable access channel.
Cable access
And
channel.
the radio channel.
And the radio channel.
Convict the spirit.
Commit the spirit
of any of thy enemies.
and any of thy people.
Of any of thy people.
Any of thy people
that seek to stop us.
seek to stop
And
us.
bring swift destruction.
Bring swift
To
destruction.
all the heathen.
To all the heathen.
That stand in the way.
To stand in the way.
Or try to stop us.
Try to stop us.
Broadcasting your word.
Broadcasting your
Throughout
word.
the planet Earth.
Throughout the planet.
Let loose all the plagues.
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 Cause them to go to and fro.
Cause them to go to and fro.
Through the earth.
Through the earth.
And consume
And
them.
consume them.
Let the plague.
Let the plague.
Shake the house of the thief.
Shake the house of the thief.
And the murder.
And the murder.
Let Yahweh Shai.
Let the Yahweh Shai.
Michael and Gabriel.
Michael and Gabriel.
Come down with the flying saucers.
Come down with the flying
And
saucers.
punish all the heathen.
Punish all the heathen.
That come up against us.
That come up against us.
As we speak thine word.
As we speak thy word.
Cause it to be known.
Cause it to be known.
By all that is.
All that is.
The angels that have done
Is
it.
the angels that have done it.
Cause it to be spread.
Cause it to be spread
Throughout the media.
throughout the media.
Throughout the whole world.
Throughout the whole world.
Cause them to shake at thy coming.
Cause of the shake of thy
In
coming.
the name of Yahweh
In
Shai.
the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you always.
Thank you always.
So be it.
So be it.
Sorry.
Tell people first. You're shopping.
Yeshabium, which means sit. Yeshabium. This is July the 29th, Sabbath class. We're going to be reading. Come.
I'm fine, sir.
We're going to be reading
No, I'm not.
2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 10 through 16. We're going to be reading it first in the Hebrew and then in the English.
So like in 2 Samuel.
23,
2 Samuel 23.
10 through 16, sir.
Verse 10 for what? 2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 10 in the Hebrew. 2 Samuel 23, verse 10. Hawa'ah, Kwam, wa Yak. Bapa, la Shafyam, I, Kaya, Yaga, Iha, Yadwa, with a Debak, Yadwa, all, Hacharam, wa Aisha, Yahweh, Thasha, wa Iha, Garawala. Garawala, Bayawam, Hahawa'a, Waha'ain, Yashabwa, Akariwa, Ak, Lapa Shat, verse 11, Wahakariwa, Shema, Shema'a, or Shema, Salakia, Bun, Aga'a, Hararia, where Sakwa, Palashafyam, Lakaya, Lathahaya, Sham, Kala Quath, Hashada, Balaha, Idashium, Baha'ain, Nas, Mapunya, Palashafyam. Verse 12. Waya Sayatazab, Batha Wak, Hakal Lakwa, Waya Tazayala, Wayak, Av, Palashafyam, Waya Aisha, Yahawa, Sasha Wa'aiha, Gadawala. Verse 13. Waya Radwa, Shalashiam, Maha Shalashiam, Ra'ash, Yaba Awa, all, Quatazayar, all, Dawada, all, Ba'irath, Idalam, Wakayaf, Palashafyam, Kana, Ba'aimak, Rapa verse 14, Wayadawada, Azah, Bama Taza Wada, Wama Tazab, Palashafyam, Azah, Bayah, Wakam, verse 15, Wayafa Awa, Dawada, Waya Amar, Maya, Yasha Kwanya, Mayam, Maba'ar, Bayath, Wakam, Ashar, Basha'ar, verse 16, Waya Ba'aiwa, Shalafa, Haga Barium, Bama Khana, Palashafyam, Waya Sha'abwa, Bayam, Maba'ar, Bayah, Lakam, Ashar, Basha'ar, Waya Sha'awa, Waya Ba'awa, all the Wada, Wala'a, Abaha, Lasha, Watham, Waya Sak, Atham, La Yahawa, and that's it.
Slaki. Now we're going to be reading same 2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 10 through 16 in the English.
2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 10. He arose and smote the Philistines until his hand was wearied, and his hand clave unto the sword. And the Most High wrought for great victory that day. And the people returned after him only to spoil. Verse 11. And after him was Shema, the son of Agee, the Haritite. And the Philistines were gathered together into a troop, where was a piece of ground full of lentils. And the people fled from the Philistines. Verse 12. But he stood in the midst of the ground and defended it, and slew the Philistines. And the Most High wrought for great victory. Verse 13. And 3 of the 30 chiefs went down and came to David in the harvest time unto the cave of Adullam. And the troop of the Philistines pitched in the valley of Rephaim. Verse 14, and David was then in a hole, and the garrison of the Philistines was then in Bethlehem. Verse 15, and David longed and said, oh, that one would give me drink of the water of the well of Bethlehem, which is by the gate. Verse 16, and 3 mighty men brake through the host of the Philistines, and drew water out of the well of Bethlehem, that was by the gate, and took it, and brought it to David. Nevertheless, he would not drink thereof, but poured it out unto the Most High.
Sir, chief, right? When they call it a chief in the Bible, what do
It's like the head of something. Chief means like the head or leader of something. It could be like the chief of a tribe. It could be like the head of something, or it could be talking like the head of the year, like the chief of the year. Like go ahead.
So do you know, like, because it said 3 of 30 of our chiefs died, right?
It says, and 3 of the 30 chief went down and came to David in the harvest time into the cave of Adullam, and the troop of the Philistines pitched in the valley. It looks like from the context, it looks like someone is mighty men.
So okay.
Yeah, it looks from the but let me keep reading this.
Was it a bowman or of theirs? It was a bowman, right?
From the comment. I'll keep reading this to make sure.
Come. And another question is this is David fighting by himself.
This is David's men going against the Philistines.
So when it said that in verse 11. And after him was Shemaiah, the son of Agi, the Harite, and the Philistines were gathered together into a troop where was a piece of ground full of lentils, and the people fled from the Philistines. He's saying that we fled from the Philistines?
Let's read a couple of them. Let me read a couple of things ahead. Let me see. So in verse 8 in context, it's talking about the mighty men that David had, and it's talking about these mighty men that were fighting against the Philistines. Like if you look at verse 8, these be the names of the mighty men whom David had. The Chuckamanite that sat in the seat chief among the captains. The same was that Adino the Ezite. He lifted up the spear against 800 whom he slew. So this is talking about David's mighty men. Verse 9, and after him was Eleazar the son of Dodo the Elahite, one of the three mighty men with David. And when they defied the Philistines that were there gathered together to battle, and the men of Israel were gone away, he arose and smote the Philistines. So in context, this is talking about all the mighty deeds that David's mighty men did. So in verse 10, it says he arose and smote the Philistines until his hand was weary and his hand clave into the sword. And the Most High brought a victory that day, and the people returned after him after the spoil. Verse 11, and after him was Shammah the son of Agi the Harite. And the Philistines were gathered together in a troop where was a piece of ground full of lentils, and the people fled from the Philistines. But he stood in the midst of the ground and defended it and slew the Philistines, and the Most High walked. So this is talking about how David's mighty men, this was talking about the mighty deeds of David's mighty men and how they stood against the Philistines when other people were fleeing away.
Okay.
This is talking, that's in context. And then verse 13 talks about, and 3 of the 30 chief went down and came to David in the harvest time into the cave of Adullam, and the troop of the Philistines pitched the tent in the valley of Rephaim. David was then, so it's just talking about their mighty deeds, their mighty acts that they did.
Come on.
Go.
All right, so now, the water. So now we're going to be reading 2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 17 through 23 to 23 in the Hebrew.
2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 17 in the Hebrew. While you're Amar, Kala Yala, Laya Yahweh, Ma'aisha Shafya, Za'af, Hadam, Nashiam, Halakyam, Bana Hashawafyam, Wala'a, Abaha, Lasha Watham, Allah, Aishawa, Shalashta, Hagabarium, verse 18. Bayashia, Akia, Waya, Bun, Tazarwaya, it's like a Tazarawaya, Hawa, Ra'ash, Hashalashia, Wahawa, I will Af, Khana Yafwa, Al Shalash, Ma'awaf, Kalal, it's like Sham, but Shalasha, verse 19, Man, Hashalasha, Hakya, it's like Hakaya, Nakaba, Layahaya, Laham, Lashar, Wa'aid, Hashalasha, La'a, verse 20. Wabanaya, Ban, Yahweh Dai, Ban, Ayash, Chaya, Ra, Pa'alyam, Makwa Ba Taza'al, Slakia, Makwa Ba Taza'allah, Hawa'a, Haka, Ah, Shanya, Allah, Mawa'a, Wahawa, Yarad, Wakaha, so like Wahaka, Raya, Bathawak, Haba'ar, Bayawam, Hashalag, verse 21. Wahawa, Haka, Ayash, Batazaria, Ashar, Mara, Wabaya, Hama Tazaria, Hanayaf, Wayara, al Yawa, Bashabat, Waya Gazal, Haka Nayaf, Maya, Hamatazaria, Waya Gawa, Bakanya, Bakanya, Salaki. Verse 22. Allah, Aisha, Banaya, Wa, Ban, Nahawa, Yadai, Walla, Sham, Bashalasha, Hagabarium. Verse 23. Man, Hashalashium, Nakabad, Wa'al, Hashalash, Waya, Sham, Waya Shama, Bahawa, Dawada, all. Masha, Ma'aif, what? And that's it.
Now we're going to be reading 2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 17 through 23 in the English.
2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 17. And he said, be it far from me, almost that I should do this. Is not this the blood of the men that went in jeopardy of their lives? Therefore he would not drink it. These things did these three mighty men. Verse 18. And Abishai, the brother of Joab, the son of Zeruiah, was chief among three. And he lifted up his spear against 300 and slew them, and had the name among three. Verse 19. Was he not most honorable of three? Therefore he was their captain. Howbeit he attained not unto the first three. Verse 20. And Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, the son of a valiant man of Kabazel, who had done many acts, he slew 2 lion-like men of Moab. He went down also and slew a lion in the midst of a pit in time of snow. Verse 21. And he slew an Egyptian, a goodly man, and the Egyptian had a spear in his hand, but he went down to him with a staff and plucked the spear out of the Egyptian's hand and slew him with his own spear. Verse 22. These things did Benaiah the son of Jehoiada, and had the name among three mighty men. Verse 23. He was more honorable than the 30, but he attained not the first three, and David set him over his guard.
Can I have another question? When they say he had his name among mighty men, he had his name was among, what it say?
Verse 23.
Come. He said, well, it said, but he attained not the first three.
But from context, it looked like he still wasn't the mightiest of the three. But it's talking about these things that the son of Joab had among the three. But he did attained not the first three. I'm guessing he wasn't the most honorable of the three. But I can check with Jeremiah Hyman on that one.
Come.
I'm gonna check with Jeremiah Hyman. Just remind me.
Come. So now we're going to be reading 2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 24 to 30 in the Hebrew.
2 Samuel 23, verse 24 in the Hebrew. Aisha, Al, Akia, Yawa'ab, Bashalashium, Aka, Nun, Bun, Dadwa, Bayah, Wakam, verse 25. Shema, Hakaradya, Al, Allah, Yakwa'a, Hakaradya, verse 26. Kalataza, Hapalatya, Ayara, Bun, Akwash, Hathawa'aya, verse 27. Abaya'izar, Ha'ai Nathafya, Mabunya, Hakashafya, verse 28. Tazala Mawan, Ha'akakya, Maharia, Hanatafya, verse 29. Kala Ban, Ba'aina, Hanatapathia, Afia, Bun, Rayabia, Magaba'ith, Bunya, Banayaman, verse 30, Banayawa, Para'ith, Para'ithania, Hadia, Manakolia, Ga'isha, and that's it.
Now we're going to continue and read 2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 24 to 30 in the English.
2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 24. And Shahal, the brother of Joab, was one of 30. Elhanan, the son of Dodo of Bethlehem. Verse 25. Shemaiah the Harodite, Elika the Harodite. Verse 26. Hazael the Heltite, Ira the son of Ikish the Tekoite. Verse 27. Albiezer the Anothite, Mabun, Na the Hasithite. Verse 28, Zalmon the Ahohite, the Mahira, the Nephatite. Verse 29, Heleb, the son of Banah, the Nephatite. Attiah, the son of Rabah, out of Gibeah of the children of Benjamin. Verse 30, and Benaiah, the Pirathonite. Hadad, the brooks of Gaash.
Excellent. Come.
What is these ites? Like, are they different nations?
Well, that's what I'm looking at is, you talking like for saying all the 90 men?
Yeah, but it's saying like a light, like Tekoite.
It's like the families that they coming from.
Come.
It's like their families. And like the regions that they lived in. Like Uriah the Hittite. You know, it's like the regions that they lived in. So, you know, when Israel went into the land, let me give the I think the New Testament might be a better example. You know how when Israel was scattered, and when they were scattered throughout all the land that they would be named after the land that they came from, even though they were still Israelites. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing here. So it'd be like the region or the family that they came from. You know, like Uriah the Hittite, he wasn't really a Hittite, but he came from that region that Israel took over the Hittites were. Because, you know, Israel was killing them, they was plucking all those nations out. So the regions where the Hittites were, where he came out. Like Ruth was really Israelite, but they called her like a Moabite because she came from that region. So that's how they named the region. Also, your question earlier, Quran, when it was talking about the three, if you look up, I found the answer to that. That was talking about they didn't attain the name of the three. There was the three, if you look in verse 13, and three of the 30 sheep went down and came to David in the harvest. These are the ones that got David a drink of water. And that's why they were, they broke through the host of the Philistines and drew water out of Bethlehem and was by the gate and took it and brought David water. And so when they were naming these mighty men, they were like, he did a mighty deeds, but it wasn't as honorable as the three. That's what they were saying. So those three mighty men were like really, like pretty much were really, really honorable for the act that they did for David. And so as they're naming the other mighty men, they're like, pretty much this mighty man did a great thing, but it wasn't as honorable as those three. That answers your question.
Come.
All right.
So we just read.
I think we read till 30.
Come. So we read in 2 Samuel chapter 23, 31 through to 37 in the Hebrew.
Somebody talking to David? Are they talking to David? In verse 19, it was like, was he not most honorable of three? Is that like a rhetorical question?
That's more like a rhetorical question. They're recording these acts. They have the scribes and stuff like that, and they're recording the acts. But it is more like a was he not like was he not the best It's like, because I know you're a writer. It's like the same thing in like writing. That's a very good question. All right. So like we're going through 37.
We 2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 31 to 37 in the Hebrew.
First, 2 Samuel 23, verse 31. Abiyah, al one, I Rabathia, Isa Mawaf, Habarakamya, verse 32. Al Ya Kaba'ah, Hasha al Labanya, Banya, Yashun, Yahwanathan, verse 33. Shema, Hara'arya, Akya Bun, Sharar, Ha'araria, verse 34. Alaya Palat, Bun, Akasabia, Bun, Hama'ai Kafia, Alaya Ain, Bun, Akya Thapal, Hagalanya, verse 35. Katazarwa, Hakaramalia, Ha'arya, Ha'abarabia, verse 36. Yaga'al, Bun, Nathan, Matazabah, Bunya, Hagadia, verse 37. Tazalak, Ha'aimanya, Nakaria, Rafia, Nasha'aya, Kolia, Yawa'ah, Bun, Tazaria, and that's it.
Now we're going to reread in 2 Samuel chapter 23, 31 through to 37 in the English.
2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 31. Abaliabon, the Abrabithite, as Zamat, Beth, the Baharumite.
It's like it. So I also want to clarify too, a lot of times when they were talking about the ites, like I said, the tribe of Israel was broken down into tribes, and you had clans, and you had families. So a lot of times, sometimes when they were talking about the ites, it could be talking about the clan that they were from also, or it could be talking about their families. And the precept to that is Joshua. I'll find the precept of Joshua, but it shows that if you remember in the book of Joshua, when Israel was going out to war against a nation, and Israel couldn't figure out why they were losing, and because one of the guys had took some idols, and they were like they were inquired to the Most High, said, "Why are we losing?" And the Most High was like, "Because there's somebody in the nation that has idols." And so when they were trying to figure out who had the idols, they were breaking it down first by tribes, then they broke them down by by clans, and then by families. So a lot of times when you see these ites too, it could also be talking about their clans that they're from or their families.
Verse 32. 2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 32. Eliahaba, the Shalom Bomite, the sons of Jashin, Jonathan. Verse 33. Shemaiah, the Hararite, and Ahiamite, the son of Sharara, the Hararite. Verse 34. Eliphilet, the son of Hezbiah, the son of Makakat, Machiite, Eliam, the son of Ahithophel, and Gileonite. Verse 35. Zerah, the Carmelite, Horiah, the Arabite. Verse 36. Igal, the son of Nathan of Zobah, Banah, the Gadite. Verse 37. Zelik, the son of Ammonite, Naharah, the Berothite, armor bearer of Joab, the son of Zuriah.
Now we're going to be reading 2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 38 and 39. And then we're going to go to 2 Samuel chapter 24 and read verse 1 to 5 in the Hebrew.
2 Samuel 20. And does anybody else have any questions? 2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 38. Ayara'ah, Hayatharia, Garab, Hayatharia, verse 39. Awaria, Hakafia, Kol, Shalashiam, Washabaiha. This is 2 Samuel chapter 24, verse 1. Wayasa, Yahweh, Lakara Waf, Bayasha'ala, Wayasaf, Dawada, Baham, Ba'amar, Lak, Manab, Yasha'ala, Wa'af, Yahawada. Verse 22. Amar, Hamalak, All, Yawa'ab, Shar, Hakayal, Ashar, Athwa, Shawat, Na'ah, Bakal, Shabbatya, Yasha'ala, Madan, Wa'ai, Ba'ar, Shabai, Wapa, Quadwa, Ha'ain, Waya, Da'aif, Masapar, Ha'ain, verse 3. Waya Amar, Yawa'ab, All, Hamalak, Waya Sawat, Yahawa, Alahayaka, All, Ha'ain, Kaham, Wakaham, Ba'ah, Pa'ayam, Waya Ayanya, Adanya, Hamalak, Waf, Adanya, Hamalak, Lamaha, Kapatazar, Dabar, Hazah, verse 4. Wayakwazak, Dabar, Hamalak, All, Yawa'ab, Wa'al, Sharia, Hakayal, Wayataza'ah, Yawa'ab, Washaria, Hakayal, Lapanya, Hamalak, Lama Quad, Ha'ain, Yasha'ala, verse 5. Wayaibarwa, Hayaradan, Yachnawa, Ar, Yum, Ayar, Ashar, Bafawak, Hanakal, Hagad, Wa'al, Ya'izar, and that's it.
Now we're going to be reading 2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 38 and 39. And then 2 Samuel chapter 24, verse 1 to 5 in the English.
2 Samuel chapter 23, verse 38. Iran the Arathite and Gareb and Itharite, verse 39. Uriah the Hittite, 30 and 7 in all. 2 Samuel chapter 24, verse 1. And again, the anger of the Most High was kindled against Israel, and he moved David against them to say, Go number Israel and Judah. Verse 2. For the king said to Joab, the captain of hosts, which was with him, Go now through all the tribes of Israel, from Dan even to Beersheba, and number ye the people, that I may know the number of the people. Verse 3. And Joab said unto the king, Now the Most High thy God add unto the people how many soever they be, and hundredfold, and that the eyes of my lord the king may see it. But why doth my lord the king delighteth in this thing? Verse 4. Notwithstanding the king's word prevailed against Joab and against the captains of the host. And Joab and the captains of the host went out from the presence of the king to number the people of Israel. Verse 5. And they passed over Jordan and pitched in Eror on the right side of the city that lieth in the midst of the river of Gad, and towards Jazer.
Question. When it said in verse 2, when it said, For the king said to Joab, the captain of hosts, which was with him, Go now through all the tribes of Israel, from Dan even to Beersheba. Do we know who Beersheba is?
Nah, I have no idea what Beersheba is.
I mean, what it was.
The geography, I'm not really strong.
Oh, that was a place, not a tribe?
Yeah, it's from Dan to, well, I mean, where it says from Dan, it's talking about the region. So, you know, when the children of Israel went into the land of Canaan, the tribes, each tribe had a place. if you read the book of Joshua, is great because it shows the regions that each tribe stayed in. Each tribe had a territory, besides the Levites. The Levites, were scattered abroad. You remember the Most High said, "Y'all are my inheritance." But each tribe was given a landmark where they were to live in. So when it's saying from Dan, that's the region where the Danite people of Dan lived. Now the Beersheba, I'm not sure where that is.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't, especially I'm not really.
Okay, I thought they were saying it was a tribe anyway. Okay. So now we're going to be reading 2 Samuel chapter 24, verse 6 through 12 in the Hebrew.
2 Samuel 24, chapter 24, says 6 through 12.
Come.
2 Samuel 24, verse 6 in the Hebrew. Awah, Hagala Aida, Wa'al, Arataza, Zakafium, Kadashia, Waya, Awah, Dana, Ya'ain, Wasabia, all, Tazaya, 1, verse 7. Waya, Awah, Tazar, Wakal, Aria, Haka, Ya, Waka, Kanainya, Waya Taza Awa, Al, Nagab, Yahawada, Ba'ar, Shabai, verse 8, Waya Shatwa, Bakal, Arataza, Waya Ba'awa, Makwataza, Aiha, Kadashium, Wa'ai Sharium, Yawam, Yarashalam, verse 9, where your thun, Yawa'ah, Masapar, Mapa Quad, Ain, all, Hamalak, Haya, Yasha'ala, Shamana, Ma'awaf, Allah, Ayash, Khayal, Shalak, Karab, Ayash, Yahawada, Kamash, Ma'awaf, Allah, Ayash. We're going to Swat, we're going to 12.
Come.
Ya, Wayad, La, Dawada, Afla, Akaria, Khan, Sapar, Ain, Wayamar, Dawada, all, Yahawa, Kata, Afya, Ma'ad, Ashar, Aishayaf, Ya, Aita, Yahawa, Ibar, I won, I Badka, Kaya, Nasakalaf, Ya, Ma'ad, verse 11, where you quam, Dawada, Babakwar, where you Dabar, Yahawa, Haya, all, God, Hanabia, Azad, Dawada, Amar, verse 12. Halawak, where you Baratha, all, Dawada, Kaha, Amar, Yahweh, Shalash, Anakia, Noah, Tall, Alyaka, Bakar, Lakab, Akaf, Mahum, where you Aisha, La. That's it.
Now we're going to be reading 2 Samuel chapter 24, verse 6 to 12 in the English.
2 Samuel chapter 24, verse 6. Then they came to Gilead in the land of Tatamathar, and they came to Danjanine and about to Zidion. Verse 7. And came to the stronghold of Tyre and to all the cities of the Hivites and of the Canaanites. And they went out to the south of Judah, even to Beersheba. Verse 8. So when they had gone through all the land, they came to Jerusalem at the end of the 9 months and 20 days. Verse 9. And Joab gave up the sum of the number of the people unto the king. And there were in Israel 800,000 valiant men that drew the sword. And the men of Judah were 500,000 men. Verse 10. And David's heart smote him, after he had numbered the people. And David said unto the Most High, I have sinned greatly, and that I have done. And now I beseech thee, O Most High, take away the iniquity of thy servant, for I have done very foolish. Verse 11. For when David was up in the morning, the word of the Most High came unto the prophet Gad, David's seer, saying, verse 12, Go and say unto David, Thus saith the Most High, I offer thee 3 things. Choose thee one of them, that I may do unto thee.
Excellent. And to talk about that real quick, the Most High is never really concerned with numbers. I think Grandma Hyman made a good point. He's more concerned with the type of man, not the number of men. There's other groups or institutions, organizations, and they got thousands of men, but it's the type of man. And the Most High was never concerned with numbers. Actually, he always shows the few to slaughter or to take on the many. Because it was the type man. If you look at David's mighty men, they were always a few taking on many. And that's always been the case throughout Israel. It was always the few that stood against nations and stood against, empires and stood against, numbers of men. So, the number of people was more like an arrogant thing, because, a lot of people are concerned with numbers. And David realized that he erred in that you're not supposed to number the people, because the Most High is not concerned with numbers. Because the Most High can take a few men and take on many. So.
Come. Now we're going to be reading 2 Samuel chapter 24, verse 13 to 19 in the Hebrew. Come.
2 Samuel 24, verse 13. Where your God, all that would die. Where your God, the Wa, where your Mar, the Wa, Haka, Wa, Laka, Shabai, Shunyam, Ra'ai, Ba'ar, Ratazaka, Shalasha, Hadashiam, Nasaka, Apanya, Tazarika, Wahawa, Radaka, Hayawash, Shalashta, Yamayum, or Yum, Yabar, Ba'ar Ratazaka, Aitha, Dai, Waraha, Maha, Ashayab, Shalachia, Dabar, verse 14. Shalom, verse 14. While you Amar, Dabada, all, God, Tazar, Lawa, Ma'ad, Napalha, Na'a, Bayad, Yahawah, Kaya, Rabium, Rakamwa, Wabayad, Adam, all, Apallah. Verse 15. Wayathan, Yahawah, Dabar, Bayasha'ala, Bakwar, Wa'aid, Aith, Wa'aid, Wayamath, Man, Ha'ain, Madan, Wa'aid, Ba'ar, Shabayim, Allah, Ayash. So we're in 2 Samuel 24, verse 16. 2 Samuel chapter 24, verse 16. Wayashalak, Yadwa, Hamala'ak, Yerushalayim, Lasha Kafa, Wayanakam, Yahawah, all, Hara'ayha, Waya Amar, Lama Lak, Hamashakyath, Yah, Ain, Rab, Aifa, Arak, Yadka, Wama Allah, Yahawah, Hayah, Ain, Garan, Warana, Hayabasya. Verse 17, Wayamar, Yamada, all, Yahawah, Ba'arathwa, of, Hamala'ak, Hamaka, Ba'ain, Wayamar, Anakia, Hata'afya, Wa'anakia, Wa'yathya, Wa'allah, Hataza'an, Maha, Ishawa, Fahaya, La'a, Yadka, Bayah, Wabayah, Abiyah, verse 18. Wayaba'a, God, all the Wada, Wayawam, Hahawa'a, Wayamar, Lawa, Allah, Hakwam, La Yahawah, as a bak, Baga run, Aranya, Haya Sabasya, verse 19. Waya'al, the Wada, Kadabar, God, Ka'ashar, Tazawa, Yahawah, And that's it.
Now we're going to be reading 2 Samuel chapter 24, verse 13 to 19 in the English.
2 Samuel chapter 24, verse 13. So Gad came to David and told him and said unto him, shall 7 years of famine come unto thee in thy land, or wilt thou flee 3 months before thine enemies, while they pursue thee? Or that there be 3 days pestilence in thy land? Now advise and see what I answer. I shall return to him that sent me. Verse 14. And David said unto Gad, I am in great strait. Let us fall now into the hands of the Most High, for his mercies are great. Let me not fall into the hand of man. Verse 15. So the Most High sent a pestilence upon Israel from the morning even to the time appointed. And there died of the people from Dan to Beersheba 70,000 men. Verse 16. And when the angel stretched out his hand upon Jerusalem to destroy it, the Most High repented him of the evil and said to the angel that destroyed the people, it is enough. Stay now thine hand. And the angel of the Most High was by the threshing place of Araunah the Jebusite. Verse 17. And David spake unto the Most High when he saw the angel that smote the people, and said, Lo, I have sinned, and I have done wickedly. But these sheep, what have they done? Let thine hand, I pray thee, be against me, and against my father's house. Verse 18. And Gad came that day to David, and said unto him, Go up, rear an altar unto the Most High, in the threshing floor of Araunah the Jebusite. Verse 19. And David, according to the saying of Gad, went up as the Most High commanded.
And you see how David chose to fall into the hands of the Most High, not of man, because he knew that you fall in your hands of the enemies. That's pretty much slavery right there. And he didn't want to go into slavery, and then famine would have pretty much destroyed them, for years. 7 years of famine would have caused a lot of effects. So he chose the 3 days to fall in the hands of the Most High.
Come.
70,000 men was a plague sent by an angel. Excellent.
Yeah, I think it's just interesting too. It always show too that like even though you always can come back. You always can get yourself right. And you know what I'm saying, before it's too late. You know what I'm saying? Because right here, Angel was about to look like he was getting ready to destroy, put his hand, you know what I mean? So, and they got right, like, he decided to get back right. So you don't never just give up and be like, well, I done messed up, and then be like that. You always, you know what I'm saying, get back up and get back right. Keep pushing.
If I could, what you're saying is heavy.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us be tricked by Satan in our mind.
Thinking
that when we mess up, you know what I mean, you done messed up, especially brothers in the truth. You know what I mean, you feel like, even in the world, but in the truth, you really feel like if you mess up, you can't fix yourself.
But
that's one blessing that Israel got, is to repent. You know what I'm saying? As long as you got life in your body, man, you can repent. It's sometimes you take a fall. If you're able to get back up, and the Lord ain't kill you, you repent ASAP. You know what I mean? A lot of us in our mind let Satan tell us, man, you can't, you messed up now, you might as well keep it going. Ain't no going back, man. Stay in the world, blah, blah, blah. Because a lot of brothers left the truth and messed up and came back. Or allowed they came back, you know what I mean? And we got other brothers that done slipped up, man. I say to these brothers, man, if you still got life in your body, man, repent and come back to the ISUBK. Man, this is how you fix yourself, man. If we're gonna make mistakes, we try to be perfect, but you know what I mean, you gotta realize that Satan talking to you, and he got his workers on the outside, which is the white man that the Bible speaks of, the devil, you know what I'm saying, working on you too. So we gotta fight that shit we gotta fight that every day of our life. That's a minute-to-minute fight, second-to-second fight. But Satan is always in your mind, like in that cartoon back in the day. You got an angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other. That's Satan. That's how it is. I think that's what they get. They know the Bible. Nah, man, that's why they make things like that. Satan is in your ear. We got the spirit of the Most High, but Satan is always in your ear trying to break us. And he always especially break the weakest vessel. Women fall a lot. You know what I'm saying? And they need to stay in class, stay up under their husbands. Man, their husband being a preacher of the Lord is their strength. They don't realize that. Satan is there to try us. And you got the white man trying us too. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta fight every day for that. That brotherhood that we got in the school is the most powerful, one of the powerful things the Lord ever gave us, besides his commandments. You know what I'm saying? So that's real heavy as you notice that. I was just telling my wife, being a preacher of the Lord, man, you notice things that people in the world don't notice. Like when I came into the truth, I seen General Hans he could look at a movie and to him, the movie is totally different to what it is to the normal person.
Come.
He see all the white man's crafty counsel in that movie. You know what I'm saying? And as we coming up in the truth, we're gonna see the crafty counsel of the world too. And you just notice that in the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? How strong we gotta be and repent. Beautiful, man.
Come. So like in the precept, Proverbs 24:16, where it says, "For a righteous man may fall, for a just man falls 7 times and rises up again.
That's right.
But the wicked shall fall into mischief."
Christ.
Come.
That's why it's true. The best thing the Lord ever gave us, man. We got to stay in it, man. Don't let Satan take you out, man, for nothing. I don't care what thing fall on you, man. You fight. That's how Job did. He was trying Job to break Job, but Job wouldn't break. You know what I'm saying? We got to be the same way, man. He do it the same way he had faith in Job and trying to break Job. He doing each and every last one of the Israelites in this.
Come.
Scriptures before I learn it, man. We got to take heed.
Come.
So,
Slacking.
Anybody
Any other questions or anything? You have some time today because you can't. So, you have questions? Okay.
stand up. Amadium.
Just the people. La Yasala. Right, this is for everybody. Aimadio, which means to stand. Wapanya, Akwadam, which means rise and face east. We're going to lead the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, then the English.
Abanaw. Shabbat
Shemayim.
Wadash.
Hayah. Shimka. Yahweh.
Waka.
Taba'ah. Retazayaka.
Hayah.
Aisha.
Ba'aratiza.
Kawa.
Hayah.
Shemayim.
Ladan. Lanawa. Lakum. Call. Yawam. Wasalak Lanawa. Kabawak Nawa. Kasalak Nawa. Kabawak Yanawa. Wala. The Ba'ayanawa. Banasayawam. Abal. Kawashayanawa. Mayan. Iraq. Kaya. Laka. Kamalakwa. Wala Allah.
Wahala.
Wahapa'a Arab.
Wahafapa Arab.
Wahatapaf Arab.
Wahafapa Arab.
Hold on. La'awalamyam.
La'awalamyam.
Aman.
Aman. In the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. Forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. This is Hakak, the power, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Babakushah, the thunder now, Hakak, Larapa'ah, Komaka'Allah, Call Madawa, Hakak, that's a heart, Hamatasa Ryan, Hakak, the Hakiam, Hamakiam, Hakak, Arakawa, that's Ma'ala, like a Rashan, Bahashim Yahushua, the Water.
And in the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the leper. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. Cast them out. The name of Yahushua. Thank you so big.
This is the blessed Israel. Yahweh.
Bahashim
Yahushua. Barak Lanau. Wayasha'al. Wahabayaf. Saparian. Barak. Magun. Bahashim Yahushua.
Wadaman. And in the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Bless us. And Israel. And the school. Bless. Heal. Shield. Protect. The name of Yahushua. Thank you so big.
These are the blessings. Barakatha Yahweh. Wa Yahushua. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Allah Hayy. Matazab Ya'ah. Allah Wak Yahan. Ha Allah Wak Yam. Hasaranyam. Hakwataza Yanyam. Haka Yayoyam. Wa Ha'akwafyam. Yahweh. Bahashim Yahushua. Wadaman.
In the English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushua. And Michael. And the angel. Commanding General Yohanan. The general. Captain. Officer. Truth. And the sister. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you so big.
This is Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Aisha, Ayanya, Aharian, Ma'ayan, Yaba'ah, Izari, Ba'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shamayam, Wa'aratiza, Ayatan, Lamawat, Rugol, Ayanawam, Shamarka, Anab, La'ab, Yanawam, Wala'ab, Yishan, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh. Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazarka, Ayad, Nimka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ab, Yakaka, Wayarak, Walayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makora, Yashamar, Apnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazafka, Wawaka, Mayata, Wa'ai, Awalam, Aman.
I will lift, and in the English, I will lift up my eyes unto the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he will not He that keepeth Israel, neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thine keeper. Yahweh is thine shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thine soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. So be it.
This is Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim. Alda Miyalaka. Alpha Karash. Alpha Shakwat. Kayahana. Awiyabika. Yahama Yawan. Woman Shanayaka. Yasha Allah. Ra'ash. Al Aimaka. Yaira Yamwa. Sawad. Where your eye doesn't walk. Others not for one Yaka. Amara. Makawa. Wanakakim, Magoya, Wala'ab, Yessakar, Sham Yash'ab, Iwad, Hayah, Nawa'ai Tazawah, Lab, Yakadwa, Ayakah, Rayaf, Yakarakwa, Ahol, Adawam, Wishamai, Aliyam, Mwa'aba, Hagarian, Gabal, Wa'anwan, Wa'anmalak, Palashah, and Yeshabia, because of war, Gam Ashavor, Nelawab, Imam, Hayawab, Zawawai, Labanya Salah, Aisha Laham, Kamadim, because of Yasser Ra'ab, Kayadim, Winakol, Yashwan, the Shamadwa, by a young Arab, Hayawab, Daman, La'adama, Shayatamwa, where the Mabula, Ka'irab, because of Abba, because of Bak, because of Zolmanai, Kunasaya Kamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, where you Rashab, Nawab, Af, Na'awaf, Swaki. Alahayim, Shayatamwa, Kagogola, Kakwash, Lapanya Rakab, Ka'ash, the Ba'ari, Kalahaba, Salahat, Hariam, Khan, the Radatma, the Sa'iraka, what was Sapafka, Sabalaham, Mala'ab, Panyaham, Kwalawan, William Shamka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, William Bahola, Ayai, William Kaparwa, William Abadwa, William Iwa, Kaya, Athab, Shamka, Yahweh, Labanka, Ayawan, Alcohol, Paratazah, Amon.
And in the English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thine peace.
Hold not thine peace.
And be not still.
Be not still,
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee,
have
lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel. Against thine people. And consulted against thine hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Let us kill them off from being a nation.
That the name of Israel may be no more remembered. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab. And the Hagarenes. Gabal. And Ammon. And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher is also joined with them. They have proclaimed the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kasal. Which perish at Endor. They become as dung for the earth. Make their nose like a rat. And like Zeb. Yea. All the princes of Zabak. And as Zalmunna, who said,
said,
let us take to ourselves
the
the houses of Yahweh in possession.
houses of Yahweh in possession.
Oh my power,
power.
make them like a wheel,
Make them like a wheel,
as the stumble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth a wood,
as the fire burns the wood,
as the flame set the mountain on fire.
as the flames set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
Persecute them
with thine tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them afraid
make them afraid
with thine storm.
with thy storm.
Bear their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with
that
shame,
they may seek thy
that
name.
they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be
let
confounded
them be confounded,
and troubled forever.
troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame,
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
art the Most High
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
So be it.
So be it.
And these are the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and
and
earth,
all things living.
and all things living.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh
in the name of Yahweh,
listen to us now,
listen to us now,
right now.
right now.
Send evils and curses,
Send evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
punishment and destruction
to the heathen
to the heathen
that speak against us,
speak against us.
thine prophets,
Thy prophets,
the teachers,
the teachers,
the princes,
princes,
the priests,
priests,
the Israelite brothers,
the Israelite brothers,
and the school.
and the school.
Send evils and curses,
Send evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
punishment and
to the
destruction
heathen,
to the heathen,
and shake loose the treasure
shake loose the
of the
treasure
rich of
of
Israel
the rich of Israel,
that refuse to give to the school,
that refuse to give to the school,
force their riches
force their riches,
into the to enter into thine sanctuary,
enter into thy sanctuary,
send evils and curses,
send evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
punishment and destruction
to the Edomites,
to the Edomites,
and the nation,
and the nation,
and their drug dealers,
and the drug dealers,
their court system,
system,
their prison system,
prison system,
the Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
Pope,
Pope,
Islam,
Islam,
Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Posse Comitatus, gay movement, lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, Nazi space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Wall Street, open up the internet, and the airwaves, cable access channel, and the radio channel, convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way, or try to stop us from broadcasting your word throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues. Let loose all the plagues. Cause them to go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief and the murder. Let Yahweh Michael and Gabriel come down with the flying saucers and punish all the heathen that come up against us as we speak thine word. Cause it to be known by all that it is, the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread throughout the media, throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thine coming. In the name of Yahweh, thank you so big. Sir, Sister Shishabiam, men, gird up thine loins and prepare to salute the Torah. Is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Barakiyah.
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Barakiyah.
How about Shimon Shabbat? Yeah.
This concludes the Sabbath service.
Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amidim Shabbat, Amidim, Barak, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua Barakatham.
Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua Barakatham.
Yahweh Sar, which means to turn, sisters, Amidim, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amidim Shabbat, Amidim, Barak, Yahweh Shabbat, Elohim Ba'Hashem Yahushua. Yahweh Matal, class dismissed. Salat.